What's up, guys? Beavermash UK, Speed VR. It's night time, and I've been playing the Oculus Quest 2 with the official link cable, as you know from my previous video, and I can definitely see a difference in the clarity of the picture, the overall performance while racing. Looking into the distance, I'm not seeing any compression on the trees or distant buildings that I was getting before. And for the first time out of all the cables that I've used, I got 2.9 gigabits per second on the USB test. My old cable, I was getting 2.3, sometimes 2.6. So who knows, tomorrow when I turn it on, I might get lower than 2.9, but we'll have to wait and see. So you have to bear in mind that my motherboard is quite high spec. It's a gigabit Aorus Pro. So, and it's got a built-in, on the motherboard, it's got a dedicated USB-C port, where the last time I used one of these official Oculus Quest cables, I had a different motherboard. I didn't have a USB-C port, so I was using the USB-C port on my 2080 Ti, which I was told would give you the best performance because you're directly connected to the graphics card, and therefore you're limiting the amount of hops for the data to transfer over. So on this occasion, using my motherboard Aorus Pro with a 3090 and a completely different CPU, I've got a 10700K compared to my previous CPU, which was a 7700K and a 2080 Ti. The difference is quite remarkable. Like I said in the post on my previous video, I'm not seeing any artifacts in my trees, no signs of compression. I'm not getting any black flashes every 15-20 minutes. Everything's stable. I wouldn't say the image looks sharper, it just looks steadier. It's hard to explain. Some people call it shimmering. I would say the image just looks, it looks like the image is in sync with the graphics card. That's the best way I can put it. When an image is out of sync, you get stuttering and shimmering, like you used to get before with the old V-Sync, the old days of V-Sync. It's hard to explain. Did I notice anything straight away? Well, this time round, I wasn't looking at the dashboard in the car because that's always been sharp with no artifacts or compression issues. Dashboard, anything close to you has always looked sharp, no matter what cable I've used. The issue I've always had up until today has been distant objects, buildings, trees, the cars, anything that's further away from you. So yeah, it's a keeper. Definitely, you know. And the other nice thing as well is it properly charges your Oculus Quest 2 while you're playing. That's not necessarily the cable technology as far as what's underneath the plastic sheath of the cable itself. It's down to the fact, I think it's more down to the fact that it's USB-C. You get more ampage or wattage, whatever you call it, from a USB-C connector than you do with a USB-C Type A, I think it's called. The big square connector. Not square, rectangle. So a combination of that with the performance, I'm happy. My Quest 2 has never looked so good in PC mode, and just to prove to myself that it wasn't like a placebo effect because I just spent £85 on a cable, I did 3 laps of Nordschleife, Nürburgring Nordschleife, and I didn't have one flicker, black spots, black flashes, stuttering, nothing. And I didn't even have the performance monitor on the screen because I didn't want that on distracting me, because I know what it feels like when a game is dropping below 90 FPS excuse me, and going down to 45 and then back up again. I know what asynchronous spacewalk feels like. I've been in VR now since 2006, so I've got plenty of experience. 2015. That's when I got my DK2. Yeah, so I know what it's like. I know when I'm not hitting 90 FPS. So I didn't have the performance monitor on from Oculus Tray Tool. Excuse me. Where's me vape? That's better. Where was I? Yeah, so I didn't have the display bar on showing me the performance because I didn't want to be distracted. So tomorrow I'll put the performance display bar on just to see what the latency figures are, because with my old cable the latency was in the 60s. over Airlink. I think it was in the 50s, which is a bit weird. You'd expect it to be lower using the cable. So I'm going to check that tomorrow, and I'll do another video and let you know what sort of performance readings I'm getting. But as a whole, using the exact same settings, nothing touched at all, no graphic tweaks in the game or anything. I've got a bloody good experience with the official Oculus link cable. Is it worth £85 compared to 20? Well, it depends on the individual. I don't do things halfway. You know, if you've spent £1.5 grand on a graphics card, like I did with my 3090, and £350 on my motherboard, and £350 on my CPU, and over £2,000 on my structure, the rig itself, with the screens and the steering wheel and the additional bits and pieces, why would you use a £20 cable for VR? It's like buying a Porsche Carrera and putting cheap accessories on the dashboard. You know, if you got the money to buy a Porsche Carrera, why would you buy a £10 phone holder when you can buy a high quality Porsche certified quality phone holder? Even if a phone holder costs you £200, why wouldn't you do that? Why wouldn't you say to the dealership as an extra, go on then, I'll have that £200 phone holder with the nice Porsche badge on it, and the quality plastic, and the metal rivets in the brackets, and instead of this cheap piece of shit that you get on Amazon that costs £1 to make but they sell for 20. Why would you do it? You've just bought yourself a Porsche Carrera and you're putting shit in it. So that's how I've looked at the Oculus Quest 2. Got a nice headset for 300 quid. Does the job. Works every time you put it on your head. There's no fucking around with Microsoft bullshit Windows mixed reality drivers. That spoils everything. Why not spend the extra £85 on the official cable that's meant to be used with that headset? Why wouldn't you do it? If you're not into things like I am, you really don't give a shit about black spots on the screen every 15-20 minutes, or your scenery looking blurry because it's got compression issues, then you may as well just buy a £5 cable, never mind a £20 cable. If you don't give a shit, just go ahead and buy it. But if you want the best, you want everything to, if you want to sit there in your games room knowing there's nothing else you can do to get this headset working the way it was designed, it's the only way to go. you gotta drop that £85 on that cable, or pick one up second hand on eBay. If it doesn't bother you, go ahead and pay £20 or £5. If you put your headset on your head once a week just to play whatever, then that's your bag. I'm not like that. So that is my review of the Oculus link cable so far. I'll do another video tomorrow when I've got some when I've got the performance monitor running and I can see the latency figures and the FPS and all that sort of stuff. But so far so good. I hope you all found this video interesting, because it's late and I'm tired. It's been a fucker of a day at work. But that's it. Later.